record button.
That's
Now
it.
we're
Yeah.
now we're recording.
Now we're live.
Come on
Now
in,
we're live.
folks. We see you out there. As you can see by the banner below us, there is no chat reading today. This program was pre-recorded. If you get the chance and you're in the mid-Michigan area, I am at the Midland Mall Comic-Con, so swing by and say hello. And if you do that and say you've seen us on this program, I'll give you a free funny book. I will. I just was out at the Great Lakes Comic-Con, gave a couple of books away. Met a couple of fans of the podcast. That was fun.
Cool.
So yeah, people I'd never seen before. So that was good, or that I don't remember seeing at least. So come on in, everybody. You have low disk space, Russ.
Do I?
Yeah. Apparently they want to try to record with you or at you. So that's what it's saying here on the
Any more details?
recording thing. Says uploading low disk space in parentheses. You and me are fine. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I do Arrow Comics. I'm editor-in-chief. You can find a lot of my stuff over at arrowcomics.store. You can find such books as Hero Bot Zero and Calico and Paragon, all sorts of great stuff over there. Plus now there should be copies of Alice in Chains over there available, which is a property I'm very, very proud of. Didn't even do a campaign for it, but real happy with the way it looks. Let me see. I don't even have a picture available to show you. So there we are. Go over there and take a look. arrowcomics.store. Also joining us today is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming, and I'm a writer, artist, and publisher who writes, draws, and publishes things. And it just occurred to me the other day that if this coming November, I'll have been doing this thing or similar for half a century. Now, get your head around that. I've drawn lots of merchandise, lots of cartoon strips and design magazines and done photo shoots and worked in graphics and all that kind of thing. But now you can get my comic creation Hatch on funmycomic.com. And soon Hatch will have his own book and it will be published by Arrow Comics. So watch out for that one.
Can't wait. It'll be great. Also joining us today is Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
Hello there. My name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. That's about it, really. You can find out all about my latest book with Arrow, which is coming out on a crowdfunder on Fund My Comic at my website. Sign up for the email list there, russleach.com. You can find me all over the internet as well on the usual social medias and what have you. You can buy my book, Only Death Can Save Us, which is already out. You can get that on Amazon and soon to be released serialization-wise through Arrow. So, yeah, lots of stuff there. Just go find out at russleach.com.
Actually, since this is the 3rd of March, we should have that campaign running.
Yeah, the campaign should have already launched. Yes,
that's the idea. Launched over there.
There's a bit of a time warp going on here, but yeah, should have launched by now.
Yep. Over at fundmycomic.com, look for the Shadow Kingdom.
Fundmycomic.com, the Shadow Kingdom. There you go.
Especially proud of that work. You should go over there and enjoy it. Buy in. It's a direct adaptation of the Robert E. Howard story. So great graphic novel, lots of fun. Today we are looking at New York. Since it is Eisner week, so they say, so they tell us. This is the week that Will was born. They're celebrating Eisner's material. We did that on Friday with a contract with God, and now we're doing it with Will Eisner's New York, the big city.
When was he born? 1917, was it?
Oh, you would ask the hard questions. Yep. I'm going to have to look that up on Wikipedia, I think, in order to be accurate. You're probably correct, though.
It might even be earlier because Kirby was 1917. I think Will might have been a couple of years older than Jack. I don't know. But anyway, long time. 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Scary.
Let me pull my keyboard over here. Will Eisner, American cartoonist. Yes, born March 6th, 1917.
Wow. Wow.
Passed away February 3rd in 2005, aged of 87.
Wow.
But American cartoonist, writer, entrepreneur. He was one of the earliest cartoonists to work in the American comic book industry. And his series, The Spirit, ran from 1940 to 1952, was noted for his experiments in content and form. In 1978, he popularized the term graphic novel with the publication of his book, A Contract with God. He was an early contributor to formal comic studies with his book, Comics and Sequential Art, in 1985. The Eisner Award was named in his honor and is given to recognize achievement each year in the comics medium. He was one of the 3 inaugural inductees to the Eisner Comic Book Hall of Fame. So, creator of many, many characters, and did a lot of things in sequential art, of which a series of graphic novels is probably his biggest achievement, maybe not his best known. But he was down in his later years doing 1 graphic novel a year. So, and this is one of them. New York, the big city. Printed by Kitchen Sink, with material copyright from 81 through 86 by Will Eisner. Yep. It's a collection of short stories all having to do with New York. The Lord said to Ezekiel, on the day I have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities. The introduction reads, I have here undertaken a series of vignettes built around 9 elements which, when taken together, are my portrayal of a big city, any city. Seen from afar, major cities are a accumulation of big buildings, big population, and big acreage. For me, it is not real. The big city, as it is seen by its inhabitants, is the real thing. The true picture is in the crevices and the floors and around the smaller pieces of its architecture, where daily life swirls. Portraiture is a very personal thing. So in the end, this effort reflects its own perspective. Because I grew up in New York City, its internal architecture and street objects are inescapably reflected. But I also know many other big cities, and what I show is meant to be common to them all. Will Eisner. Look at that.
That's great, isn't it? Looks like Wall Street, that.
It does.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
It's so simple, isn't it?
Can
Or it
be,
makes
yep.
it makes it look so simple. It's not, but it looks like.
Well, that's part of having a great style.
Yeah.
No,
Very loose style, very nice style, yeah.
Very simple.
I'd like to see, just as an aside, I'd like to see if he did any sort of portraiture of any, sort of real paintings, if not real, but what I mean, sort of more true to life stuff.
I haven't seen any painted work other than watercolor that he's ever done. I don't know if he ever did any oils or acrylics.
Yeah. He does the lettering as well, doesn't he? He does the whole thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is all him. This is all
he
him.
writes it and draws it and letters it and everything, yeah.
Ink washes in the background, everything, it's all him. Yeah.
Wow. It's just fantastic.
That's
isn't it?
amazing. Yeah.
Look at those
Treasure of Avenue
feet.
C. Yeah.
Look at the feet on the
Yeah.
grid thing
Yeah.
underneath it, like you're looking up.
It's
On
it's
the-
that
on the other
lighting at the
page.
end of the tunnel there. That's just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, fantastic. You can see the feet on the first page on the grid.
The
It's
guy is
fantastic,
proposing to his favorite streetwalker. She throws the ring back at him and it falls down
It's
the
a very
grate.
polite way of saying it.
Yeah. Says, I'll wait for you, Mary. Someday you'll come back. You'll see. And he walks away dejected. The treasure of Avenue C. The ring, the money.
Did he ever work in animation?
No, not that I'm aware of. It's just
Because you
never
can-
interested in it. He always
Yeah, but
worked
you-
in sequential art that I know of.
Yeah, you could see. Look at that left-hand page there with the guy on it. You can
Oh, yeah.
see. You could see that he could be the top artist in a sequence, can't you? You know,
Certainly. Yeah.
it's fabulous.
I always thought his spirit needed to be animated. His spirit series would
Yeah,
have made a great series of 10-minute shorts per story. Would have been great. It's a real light ink wash here of the city. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not.
yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah,
little bit of mortar work here, brickwork.
it looks that the background wash makes it look very foggy, doesn't it? It's smoggy,
Yeah, yeah, it does.
dingy, dingy and dirty with the
a nice
pollution
break.
and everything.
Same thing with the brickwork here. It's
Yeah.
smudgy. And the line work
I
here.
wonder what size these originals were. 2 up, do you think?
I would imagine so. Yeah. Especially this one here with all of the detail work on it.
Yeah.
You could almost have done that as 8.5 by 11 pieces and just pasted them together.
Yeah.
But I would imagine he's working off of a page at a time here.
Yeah,
Key.
I reckon I bet it's all on the same page.
Yeah.
I lost the key, Ronnie. It's quite dangerous, that grating. You'd fall down there, wouldn't you?
All sorts of stuff going on, yeah.
The treasure. Boomy and Juby.
How much we got, Boomy? Shut up. Scooby? Oh, Subi. I'm counting. 8 dimes, 6 nickels, 2 quarters, a ring, a key, and a knife. So, split the money even. You keep the ring and the key. I'll keep the knife, okay? Boomy?
Wow. Look at that.
They argue over it so much, they lose it all down the grate again.
Look at that. It was my string and chewing gum, so I get most. It's the dog with the bone, isn't it?
Yeah. And the ink drawings of the scenery here that he does, the inking style he has, reminds me a lot of Guy Davis. Guy Davis's work from Baker Street and the Marquee. Very much in that same tone, same look, same looseness, same style. Stoops. Bleachers in a stadium are the tenement stoops, a drawbridge, a common, a stagelet to do safe seats in the arena of the city, from which to watch the parade of life. Yep.
I told you a few weeks ago that I first saw my first exposure to those buildings with steps like that was on The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Look at that background, though. The skyscrapers in the back in the wash, isn't it fabulous? That
in the wash. Yep. Here too, no lines, just gray tones till you get to the building itself. Then a little bit more line work with darker ink wash The trash cans here are all ink wash, and then you don't get any line work until you get to that set of steps. Even down here, very sparse lines. Lots of beautiful wash work. Not easy to do.
No.
This watercoloring with India ink, just about.
I think his lettering's great as well. The way it's not all so precise. It's obviously hand lettered. I think it's great. Except maybe the Stoops bit that looks like it's typeset, but the other lettering's hand lettered.
Looking from S to S, it might be, but I doubt it. I don't think that he would. He might have done that typeset the titles, but I know this is all hand here. That's Ames lettering guide right there at work.
Yeah. Look at that.
Witnesses.
Wow.
Some more wash work here. Line work back here. Feathering here. Great stuff. With the dinginess of the city here. Water in the gutters, trash. Just great stuff.
You know, these buildings that he's drawn here from like the 40s, 30s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I often wonder, they must have been new at some. When you see them when you see photographs of them, things like that on the film, and they all look old and dingy and 100 years old, they must have been new at some point. But I guess that must have been before photography, so nobody ever sees them when they were pristine, when they were built.
Yeah, probably.
And then they just fall into decay for 100 years. And
well, imagine they got dirty really quick.
Yeah.
Well, the cities are quite smoggy, or were during this period. So nobody cared much about the environment or air quality or anything like that. So probably the mid 1800s to early 1900s, these were built. Yeah. Right around his, they'd be about looking like this about his childhood.
Yeah.
Supper time.
So you're talking sort of 1930, aren't you? That kind of be 13, wouldn't he? 12 or 13 then.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that dark cloud on that panel over supper time there. Look at the cloud in the background, and that because it's just absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. That's nighttime. Goes right to the buildings here. The dark gray wash and then solid black here for the next level. And then light lines here for the foreground buildings. No street.
Yeah, you can
delineation. But the street light is still lit.
Yeah. You can tell, can't you, that the person who's drawn this has obviously seen this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think anybody who'd never seen that could capture it like that.
Yeah. And it's obvious most of it was done by hand, too. No rulers. You don't need that for the steps are imperfect anyway. Maybe for the railing at most. Other than that, everything's freehand here. I love the brickwork.
The way it just fades off into white as well.
Yeah. I'm going to give away one of my secrets here for all you budding artists out there. If I was to do those stairs, I would probably do it with a ruler and then ink it loosely, ink it without the ruler.
To
make the line to make the line wonky.
Yeah. I do that with perspective stuff. So I'll perspect it on my pencils. I'll get it. It'll be rough, but it'll all be with rulers and what have you. Make sure that I've got everything and it looks right, and then I'll ink it freehand, and it gives it that feel. It gives it that liveliness. And again, so that's something that I wasn't doing when I was doing it digitally, because I was kind of you're already there, so you think, I'll just do it with an ink, in digitally with an ink, and it's a straight line. perfectly straight line, and you lose some energy from it. Whereas if you chuck it out on the board and then you know you're in the right place, and then you do it by hand, it's great.
So what you got to do is got to get it right.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
You got to get it right and then mess it up.
Yeah.
to make it look real, because there's only God gets perfect perspective and it look in order at the same time.
I was going to say it's got your Jack Davis feet here.
Yeah.
Working.
It's great, isn't it?
I love this stuff. Home.
Look at that bottom panel there, the perspective on that, looking up on that steps, those people going in. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Mean? Oh, yeah. That
one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just great.
Someone's here. Mr. Whiskey is joining us. Hang on just a moment. There, you're added. Sir, how are you?
I'm good.
We are recording. We are 21 minutes in.
Yeah, I realized I forgot it was today. I'm like, oh, God.
Sorry, it's impromptu so that I could attend that mall show in Midland. We are looking at Will Eisner's New York graphic novel.
Amazing.
Life and Times in New York. Master at work, literally. I think this is his second or third graphic novel collection after a contract with God.
What year did this come out?
80 it is 89, I believe. 86. Copyright 86, Kitchen Sink Press. It's first printing.
Well,
Life in the City. It's a basic theme of the book. Stoop Ball. Again, he's got these portraits of architecture and city life in general between his story sections. It's a series of vignettes.
You put it on full screen, Randy.
Oh, sorry. My fault. Actually, should have Whiskey introduce himself. So do that.
I am Whiskey. I'm the lead creative director for a band at Ricochet. We do production level modeling for 3D printing, spin casting, injection molding, all that kind of stuff. And you can find me over there at the bottom on the left there at Twitter, X. And put that in. And if you never need anything made, send me a message.
Yeah. Sorry, it dropped out there for a second, Glenn. I didn't kick you. I swear I didn't.
No, it was the computer telling me to go back in again.
Oh.
So there you go. So I did.
Computer
Stoop ball. Anyway.
You're putting full screen on.
Yes, I will. There we are.
Yeah.
Poor old Randy. He hasn't had a lot of sleep today.
It's all right. I'll get it.
That poor dude with the fire hydrant.
Yeah. I was just looking at the line work here.
Again, he's got that background, hasn't he? The Wash City skyline on the big panel.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subways.
Wow, I bet he's seen that a few times.
Yeah. I love how he has all that paper flying.
Yeah.
Down there, yeah. He did that a lot in the spirit stuff that he drew. Yeah.
Wow.
As the big city claws the sky for more living space, so it burrows into the earth for commutation, catacombing itself with capillaries through which shuttle the trains, marshaled at night in naked yards on its outskirts. They rest until dawn. Then an unseen intelligence disperses them into the tidal flow of the city life, or of city life. Humorless iron reptiles clanking stupidly on a webbing of graceful steel rails. They snake through the maze of buildings until finally, finding a tunnel mouth, they plunge into the bowels of the city. This is all line work and a little bit of wash work here. Just beautiful. You can feel movement.
Yeah. Feel the wind coming from the front of the train, can't you? Through the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's just outstanding. Look at that window there with all those plant pots.
Yeah. Train going by. Again, the bricks. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Great work. An affair on the BMT local. Everybody thinking about their life.
These pages aren't as arresting as the others, are they?
I like the layout of it, though. They're kind of experiencing their dreams here in solid line work while they're sitting on the train, thinking. Yeah. Till it's time to go.
Oh, I see. So that she's thinking about him and he's thinking about her, and I guess they never speak.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Two ships passing in the night. Yeah.
I'm guessing that in the center panel on the right page, I'm guessing that's a woman, but it looks like Dr. Octopus.
Here? Yeah.
Without haircut.
Not anybody he wants to dream about, at least. She's elbowing her way out to the subway. Watches her leave.
And the line in the movie Deep Tonsil.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Theater. It's a little drama as he passes by.
That's the Hitchcock's window thing, isn't it?
Yeah, rear window. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that infamous 9-panel grid.
Yeah. Look at that. The bottom tier center panel, the way he's leaning right over to see as much as he can.
Yeah. Then once it's out of sight, he's back reading again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to his article. Art. Kids sneak in. Graffiti. Knight Rider.
his trousers on that bottom panel on the left. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people passed out on the subway from being drunk, but never quite almost that drunk. It's walking around.
When I first went to New York, I was on the subway and a guy came. It was packed, and this guy came up to me. I was talking to someone, and he came up to me and he poked me in the chest and he said, "You're from England, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "There's one thing I'm going to do before I die." And I thought, "Oh, here we go." And everybody sort of stopped and looked round, and he said, "I'm going to get over there and teach you all how to speak." And then walked off and left me a quivering wreck because I thought he was going to shoot me or something.
Ah. Just trying to be helpful, right?
Well,
anyway,
it's a bit intimidating on a New York subway in 1978 when things weren't so good.
I can imagine. There was a temporary power failure on the IRT line today. Trains were stalled in the tunnel at 125th Street for 20 minutes. The Transit Authority reported no incidents despite rush hour conditions. All trains resumed normal operations at 5:16.
This spread reminds me of the sort of Norman Rockwell thing, but obviously a lot looser.
Yeah.
He always does these kind of interactions with people, doesn't he?
It's the same people. It's just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
It was
she's a little nervous.
She's
She's getting more nervous as we go along, clutching her groceries. Go ahead, Whiskey. Sorry.
I was in Toronto one time and I was playing music, and this couple, like one looked like a Russian, like gentleman, like a Romanov or something, like just a mobster, just not like a friendly looking dude. And he had this older lady with him that was basically wearing like the most revealing bikini like you could ever imagine, and she wasn't a very attractive woman, right? So you couldn't. It was like a car crash. You couldn't kind of help but look away. Like you look, but you're like, no offense to anybody, of the older variety, but it wasn't a good look, right? They looked like they took a copious amount of drugs, and so he's noticed me looking at the car wreck, and so he comes over and he gives me the points at his eyes, right? And he's like, "I'm looking at you," and he's like 2 feet away from me, and it was a really, really surreal experience. Like, he looked like he was like a drugged out mobster or something, or from like the Russian mafia.
Probably your pimp.
Could be, who knows?
Yeah. The last man. He's pushing everybody in, can't get in himself.
And they all just look at him.
Yeah. He's pushing and pushing, jamming everybody in. Sits there too late. Watches the train leave.
That right-hand page is a real rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Rough. Yeah, that's where you probably did the finished page off if you did it.
Almost has a gritty feel to it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some kind of famous New York strike with garbage at one point or another?
Oh yeah, there's been a couple. Yep. Piled up higher than that. Much higher. Speaking of garbage, here's garbage. Big city is, after all, a hive of concrete and steel in which living things swarm, depositing in their course of their lives the residue of their existence in the countless garbage cans that sit dumbly amid the swirl, battered urns, the final repository of yesterday's stuff. Ode to the garbage can. What a great looking garbage can it is, too.
It looks like it's gonna.
Messy.
It's like it's gonna get you, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like it could almost explode. It's crap drooping out of it. And in the background, again, just different levels of ink wash. Even light wash here. With the Trade Center still there in the background. It's great stuff. Cans.
Well,
Guy for a full day garbage collection. Yeah.
Don't forget to take the garbage out. Have they just woken him up? Been up all
This
night with
guy
a
wakes
kid.
up. Yeah. Yep. It's too late. Clang, whir, clang, clang. It's great. Look at that sound effect there. It's just reverberating. That's the word. Huh.
I live on a cul-de-sac, and the bin men always manage to leave the bins where they didn't find them.
Yeah.
In the middle of the road, and so you have to go out and move them, and it must be part of their job spec not to put them back where they found them, because they're all out of the way, all nice in a row, and they just dump them in the back of the truck and then just leave them where they are.
Either in the street or thrown up on the yard for the wind to blow in this back into the street. Yeah.
We have these horrible. We've got these horrible plastic things now. We've got 3, but some people have 6, and they're all different colours. And all you can see is everywhere you drive and everybody's street. All you can see is the garbage bins waiting, outside the house. It's awful.
One for recycled bottles, one for recycled paper, and one for trash.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they can throw it all in the same hole later.
Yep. Figured that out with the recycles. We still separate the paper from all the other recyclable stuff, but that still goes into the same truck.
Yeah.
Into the same hole. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of garbage. I used to work at a temporary job at a tire recycling facility, and the guy didn't really explain the job very well. He said, "Oh, just go collect some tires from this place." And you're like, "Okay, sure." You go up and then the job is essentially climbing through a garbage dump looking for tires, isn't like to recycle. And he didn't didn't say anything about protection at all, about but when you're carrying the tires, the only way to carry or the recycling, their tire rims for recycling, you have to grab them by the inner hole of it or whatever it's called, and the rims scrape against your forearms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after several hours of doing that, you basically have cuts on your forearms. So and the guy didn't say wear any kind of protection at all, but I quit the job basically the following day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. This isn't fun. Not that jobs are fun, but it's basically had to put ointment on my arms and stuff to prevent infection and whatever else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dirty jobs. Not a good time.
Yeah. Go to work, Charlie. It feels so good. I'm tired. My feet hurt. Maybe I shouldn't carry so many samples. That bag gets heavier every day. He's walking down the street while they're picking up garbage. The sauce.
There was a few years ago. There was, I don't know whether Russ saw it on the news. There was a woman who got in trouble because the cat was on one of these bins and they had lids on, and she came to put the garbage out, and the cat was on top of her bin. So she got hold of the cat, opened the bin, put the rubbish in, then put the cat in it, and closed the lid. And it was there for about 10 hours. This thing, and it was on CCTV. She got done, didn't she?
Got done. Yeah, good job and all. It is funny, but it is good job she got done.
Yeah.
Forgive the language barrier there, but like got caught, I guess.
Yeah, she actually had she was charged and she had she went to court.
Oh, okay.
So she got sorted out over it. Yeah,
she got fined.
She had the official hand of the government down on her back, being
cruel
a dick
to animals.
Yeah, being a dick, basically. Unfortunately, there aren't any laws that says being a dick, get a ticket, but that's close as you can get.
Yeah. Right. Want to remind everybody we're on the Indie Comics Network, the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, and the Randy Zib YouTube channel. And if you're watching it on a Indie Comics Network YouTube platform, you can send us stars. If you feel that we've entertained you adequately, it'll help. Everything that you send us goes to the operating costs for the Indie Comics Network, of which there is a lot more than you realize. So we appreciate it. Send us some stars, folks. Thanks for being here. More source.
The best thing about that previous story there with the bin is that it's all different. It doesn't do the same one every time. It's drawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's travels. He's picking up different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the end, they just take the bin and use it for a fire source. Yeah. It's in his car. It's limo. Somebody throws a butt in the trash can and lights up. It's back to the cat. There's the garbage strike mentioned right there.
Yeah. Look at that wash on those bags, isn't it good?
Yeah. Why is the garbage of the rich always smaller than the garbage of the poor? That's some nice work there.
That's actually true. You see a lot of houses with like college students, and there's 10 of them packed into a building, and then the garbage is a mile high, and then the next door you see a couple of who own the house or whatever, and there's one bin out.
Yeah.
All those people on the street.
Yeah. Alan's got some really loose line work here.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people there. Street music.
It's amazing. It's loose, but you can just feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like you're looking at a photograph because it's got the essence of the city. It's
Yeah.
some. You go back, you just flick back to that page. It's like it's almost like turning on the TV and seeing
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch or Fame or I don't know. It's just it just feels it's right.
It's very much an establishing shot, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I love the generic cars.
Yeah. That's the 80s. Early 80s, probably, when he did this. A lot of
When
generic
cars,
box cars back then.
when cars
Right.
look like cars and not balloons on wheels.
Cars look more like boxes.
There's great Brooklyn Bridge in the background there. On that.
Yeah.
When I was back in the early 90s, I was doing a lot of real estate, drawing houses for a real estate agent, to put in the window and all that. And I learned pretty quickly you do generic people and generic cars so the drawing doesn't age.
Yeah. It's quite a collection. Street music. Integral as its architecture are the sounds of the city, an endless symphony. Unique to it. Unique to it. There should be a little bit more space there.
Yeah.
As are the smells. Even a master can miss things once in a while. I read that as toit. Rhonda, Herbie. Glad you can make me. We got to talk about last night. I was thinking you would think I'm some kind of tramp. I gotta sleep around, Of course not. Respect stand for skill. Very have integrity. So sensitive. Appreciate that in a person. How did you are you Ken, is there someone? And do you have what? And the whole time there's a noise just going on in the background. Love song for Tismo.
Poor kid.
Do tonight. What? Music's playing. They got their own boom boxes.
I think they're all arguing about music, aren't they? Different music.
Is that what it is? Could be.
I think so.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Not
they're
sure,
playing,
though.
so they drop some money in the can so that they move on.
Yeah.
Then they start talking again. Then a couple of guys come up with boom boxes. Concert.
pearly buzzards.
Freaky flakes.
I like the way he always has different lettering styles for different signs and things. He doesn't have one. A lot of letterers
Yeah.
just have one style, but he
Yeah.
changed it. And even on university, he's chiseled it out of the stone there, like it would be at the first panel.
Mhm.
And I think that's something for people to realize and learn.
The thing is, it's the same band moving from place to place with different names, title cards at different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, but what I
Playing
mean is
different music.
the lettering is different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the way on the second panel on the first page, it's got was it on the soul food on? Is it fats they're called in the window?
Where are you
Different.
talking?
The first page, bottom panel.
Yeah.
Over the top of the guy's head, it says soul food on the window behind him.
Yeah.
See it?
Back here.
There. Yeah,
Fats,
yeah.
yeah,
There.
soul
It says
food
soul
fats, yeah.
food. Yeah.
Well, they're the Freaky Flakes. They're playing in a black neighborhood. Pearly Buzzards are playing at a university.
Yeah.
The
That's not
Lavac
what I mean.
String Trio are playing in front of the art museum. Yeah. And then at the end, he goes, you do a wedding in Brooklyn, big bread. Want to do a wedding in Brooklyn, big bread. Guy goes, I can't handle it, man. It's like we got Times Square tonight, Needle Park tomorrow, and the main entrance in front of the Opera Hall that same night. The last guy here says, shit, man, we got gigs coming out of our ears. Sheesh. Opera.
It's all gone blurred now.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little. Yeah. No, it's gone again.
Looks good. Looks good here. Let it focus on my hand and then focus on the book. There we go. Better now?
It's better, but it's not. Yeah, it's not so bad now. See, he's done that hospital sign in every panel, and he's written it again.
Yeah.
And I can't. I have to say this. I can't, for the life of me, work out why people don't do this. I put lettering on pages,
Mm-hmm.
and I know all about deadlines, and I know all about blah blah. But so did this guy, deadlines as well, and he did it.
Yeah.
What sort of lettering are you talking about, though?
I'm talking about the lettering in the balloons. I'm talking about the lettering over the
Right.
doors.
So because I don't, I just don't think I have the. I don't.
Yeah, what I mean
as
is,
far as laying it down on an original board, I don't think I have the skills for doing
no, but
lettering.
but other people,
But
other people
lettering on
do.
the, yeah, but lettering on the above like the, like sound effects, like the honk and everything, or
Yeah,
the hospital and the emergency, that I would lay down on the board. I would put that stuff down on the board.
It all adds to the charm of the work. That's why he hand letters that, you know.
There
Yeah,
are,
I mean, it's just amazing.
Makes it personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like I said. If you scan a piece of artwork in and do the lettering in on a computer, when you get the original artwork, you don't have any lettering on it.
Yeah. Well, also keep in mind this is long before computers.
Yeah, well, these people
This
are
is,
artists.
Mid to late 80s. Yeah, he's doing all of this by hand because that's what he's done all of
I
his
don't
life.
think I don't think if he'd have had Photoshop in 1981 that it'd have changed. I really don't.
No, I don't think so either. Not at that point.
They did have mechanical lettering stuff though, like a device where essentially you just had like a
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I think you're right.
Well,
I
we
don't
saw
think
that.
he
We
would.
saw that with the 50s EC books. They used that.
yeah.
I this may be a conceit, okay, and I think you're right. I don't think he would, but I think if he was born 20 years later, maybe he would. It's just an approach, isn't it? It's just what you
Yeah.
consider to be part of a process. I mean, I like the idea of like so you see all those sound effects and everything. I love that. I think that's great down on a board. But I don't know that I necessarily appreciate having the lettering on the artwork. Sometimes I quite like to see the artwork without the lettering. So
But I was think the
I'm
lettering's
quite
part of the
happy
artwork.
to. Yeah, I don't. I think it is an integral part of what we do, but I'm quite happy, for instance, seeing Batman pages without any lettering on. You know, or for instance, getting a Buscema page of Conan without any lettering on it. I'd be more than happy to have that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just opinion, isn't it? It's just subjective. This whole thing is subjective. But you can't knock the skill. I mean, the fact that this guy can do everything is intimidating, but inspirational as well. It's beautiful stuff.
If you look in the
Like
Mad
for-
magazine, they stick a load of lettering on over there, over those lovely Mort Drucker drawings, don't they? It's typeset.
Yeah.
You can see it in the square boxes. I think it ruins it. But that's just me.
When I'm
It
doing
it steps on it, but you know, he drew it knowing that those boxes were going to go in there too. So
when I'm doing script writing for comic stuff, I need the layout first. I need to draw the layout to see how much space I have and kind of how the thing flows, and before I like write in the dialogue, so that I see what I see, which really annoys my editor. But it's what I need to do, so to get it done.
just and in the arcade yesterday.
Speak up, Randy.
I'm reading that. Sorry, he doesn't. She's yelling for Joey here, and he's gone. She sees him, but he doesn't. She didn't get his attention, and he's walking away with her girl here, and she says, "Oh well, maybe he'll call you up tomorrow, and you can explain that you was on this side, and I'll be your witness." She goes, "That doesn't. He doesn't have my number, and all he knows is my first name. We just met at the arcade yesterday. I said I would meet him here, but we didn't say on which side of the street." So, near miss. Decibel. It's part of the charm too, so that when he's yelling,
Yeah,
he can use that larger font.
yeah. Why is everybody talking so quiet? Somebody die or something? Look at that. The way he writes, the way he speaks like a New Yorker. Look at that. Well, maybe tomorrow business going to be better. It's great, isn't it?
Yep. That's the cookbooks, miss. Rhythm. Boppity bopping. There's a generic bus.
Yeah.
If ever there was one. Yeah.
It's got no wheels.
Yeah. Must be buried deep. They're just barely
Yeah.
bumps there.
Doesn't look like a train, doesn't it?
Yeah. Again, just a hint of ink wash here. All that you need for a background. Bippity bippity bippity. There we go. Probably spent longer doing the ink wash on this than he did the line work.
Yeah. I like the way he doesn't have a straight line edge as well for it.
Yeah. Like the way he did the windows here. You might not be able to see that on the camera, but
Yeah, I was just looking at that part. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
it's got this
And
great
there's the-
graduated tone working for the back city here, and then he's got the Brooklyn Bridge here in the foreground.
That's right. Yeah. How good is that?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Randy,
Sir.
is there a way that we can? I think by now, if anybody's tuned in, they've read the bottom script. Can we get rid of that?
Well, I keep it going just in case somebody shows up.
True. It's quite possible, but they are gonna watch it after the fact. Like there's not gonna be anybody. There you go. Thank you. So much less distracting.
Not quite as bad as that background on our last Arrow meeting. But anyway, that was starting to make me go bonkers. Sentinels.
I had to drink heavily after that.
After
Gave me a
the
headache.
weird, watching that weird background at the last Arrow meeting.
Yeah, it freaked me out. I needed some. Yeah, something.
Something to calm the nerves.
Yeah.
Look at the way he's done that water pouring down that grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the reflection in there. And it's very
really
subtle, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really moving though, isn't it?
Like just the rainfall in general, the hydrant's amazing. Along the channels of the city stand the sentinels, guardsmen of an endless watch, or on an endless watch. Hydrant. Yeah.
Wow.
The water pouring down the steps there. See how she gets the water for her kids.
Is it me on that bottom panel? Is it me? Is that lady a black lady?
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the pencils on this.
They're probably pretty sparse.
Yeah.
But they came to put a lock on that hydrant. It's not good.
Wow.
Wayside.
Look at that duck.
Yeah.
Great. We know what he's going to do there, don't we?
Yeah. Somebody covered with a trash can lid so he wouldn't get a ticket. They wrote him up anyway.
Wouldn't he get 2 for that? 1 for covering up the hydrant and 1 for parking there?
I don't know.
They'd have to. They'd have to prove it was him that put the trash can over the thing.
They can prove he was parked at the hydrant, though. So just at least one.
Yeah, but then you could counter that by saying the thing was obscured, right? Like, for example, like if you get a parking ticket for not seeing a sign in this, and the city has obscured the sign, then you can get off the parking ticket because the sign is obscured and it's not legible. It doesn't even have to be. It only has to be partially obscured either, right? So like the law is tricky like that.
Is that woman again sat in that puddle with the baby?
Could be.
That guy turning the hydrant looks like Captain Haddock off Tintin, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Haddock.
Firefighter, public servant.
Does look a bit like Haddock, doesn't he? I wonder if he's stinking drunk as well.
We turned it on for the kids. Came running.
Now, I know this is historically a thing where they hanging out in the hose water from the fire hydrants, but it just seems really gross.
I didn't think about it in that terms at the time when it's super hot out there. It served 2 purposes. It kept the populace occupied, gave them something to play in, literally, but it also cleaned out the pipes.
Yeah.
So you weren't dealing with a lot of clutter and rust. It's a nice thing to do for the kids, on a hot summer day.
I mean, I guess it would be clean as it's going to get, but it just, I don't know. I've seen city streets and it doesn't look, fun. I grew up in the country, so swimming would be in pristine waters. You just as clean as you can get, I guess.
Right.
And then people went swimming in it.
Yeah.
They pulled the alarm thinking they were funny and their apartment building's on fire.
Great the way that fire's coming out of that, flaring out of that door, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way it's got whoosh, needs a big whoosh on it. That. Wow.
There's a skit from George Carlin. He's just like, when we were young, we didn't care about anything. We swam in the Hudson River. It's just like, and then he said it again, just let it sink in. He's just like, we were tempered in raw liquid shit.
It's like you should see the River Thames. That's much lauded. When you look at it, you think, my God.
It's a lot better than it used to be.
Well, it's still bad, isn't it?
Kids were building up their resistance. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Mailbox.
Clean when them
about mailing a letter. Go ahead. Sorry.
It was clean, Russ, when them Romans went up in it on those galleons, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was them that pooped in it the first time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What the Romans do for us, eh? Mess up the River Thames.
Roads. All right. What apart from roads, what have the Romans ever done for us? Underwater, underfloor heating. All right.
Safe to walk at night.
We had a little bit of hydrants. Now we have mailboxes. Dead letter.
I tried to give a letter to a postman once. He just emptied the box and he wouldn't take it, but he said, put it in the box or put it in the box. And then he just opened the box again and took it out. But he wouldn't take it from me.
Joke,
At least he wasn't going to leave it there for another 12 hours, till he came back.
Computer says no.
Last minute mail. That'll be me getting my sales tax out. On to signals.
Oh, oh dear. Wow. I love the way just in the second panel when they're walking across, the way that it could be the same person with the way they're all moving, in different stances of walking. It's fantastic, yeah.
Like the fact that he kept his camera steady by the pole here. That was the main player.
And the fire hydrant, yeah.
Yeah, and the hydrant here.
But he loses the background, establishes where you are, then you just see the people.
Yep, little hint here, little hint here, little hint there.
Yeah.
Onto a lamppost. A little more detail there.
Yeah.
It's one of those days. I was changing the coffee filter, right? And the coffee, just wasn't really. I guess I was, half asleep, and the bag, the coffee filter, ripped and then just poured everywhere. And then my fiance had left the dryer open, which is under. It's like a dryer washer unit underneath, and it's underneath the microwave in the apartment. So she left that open to air it out. So the coffee filter spills into the dryer. Does that have to clean that up now? And then but it's moist, so I have to vacuum it out. So I have to wait to clean it up, and then so I swept up the coffee grounds, but I'm just covered in coffee now.
The best part of waking up. Yeah.
Moral of the story: drink tea.
Drink tea. Yeah.
Use a bag.
Use a bag.
Use a bag. Get a Keurig. Can never use those. It's too little coffee. Yeah. It's running. Now he's hiding behind the post.
I don't get that. I don't see what's happened there.
He's being threatened, or he feels threatened by somebody, so he takes off running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here he's walking, sees somebody behind him, makes him nervous, takes off running, gets to the lit lamp post and stands underneath it. And the guy just walks away. He's out in the open, under the light.
Is it a
Yo,
policeman who's chasing him?
No, looks like some sort of shadowy thug-looking character.
Right.
All around the lamppost.
Great the
That
way
was
he's
good.
offset.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That second tier, second panel in the way he's offset the door. It just makes it work so much better, doesn't it? The angle of the door. Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody draws sewers quite like Eisner.
No.
Great stuff.
Lottery ticket.
I have no use for thugs and ne'er do wells and those kind of those people. I was chilling in the park one time, and I was getting like this like group of I don't know, young gentlemen, probably in their 20s, and they're trying to be all territorial and stuff. And like basically one guy's threatening me. And I had my skateboard because I was had a skateboard and I used to ride it around. And I was a younger man, but the guy his buddy tried to, as he's threatening me, I wasn't giving any ground. His buddy tried to pick up my skateboard and probably like do something with it, either run away with it or take it or try to hit me with it. So as he's picking it up, I step on it and put my foot on it and don't look away from the other guy, just stare him down. And his buddy's got his hand trapped underneath the skateboard, and he's like like basically like, oh, my hand, right? And then they all backed off after that and just left me alone. But you can't give them an inch, otherwise they'll take it.
Yeah. More great lane work here. Just a hint on the ink wash in the background there, just to add more city.
Yeah,
Really
it's a
nice.
strange building, that, isn't it? It's got more windows than brick.
Yeah, it does. Bunch of them, a whole row of them.
You just wonder whether those splash pages are. Yeah, that reminds me of that Led Zeppelin cover with the windows when they had the famous people in the window. Is it Led Zeppelin 2, I think?
Do you think he drew every single window there, like by hand or with a ruler, or
individually? Yeah, he probably did. He probably set it up with a ruler and drew it all back in there by freehand. Every one of them looks different. Windows. View of life.
Oh, it's the rear window thing again.
Yeah.
I mean, that film can't have been lost on him. What was it, 1956 or something?
Yeah. Oh, it's such a classic. Everybody's during that era would have seen it. Hitchcock was huge.
This is great. The old codger sitting in the wheelchair by the window.
Mm-hmm.
Watching life go on. He's amused by it.
its own little TV till at night. Gets that midnight snack, and everybody's already in bed, so he sits in front of the TV, does the same thing.
Well, it's retired. If it makes him happy and he's retired, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's great.
He's
Like,
loving.
it's-
He's loving the drama.
Yeah.
Here he's laughing, and yeah, he's totally into it.
What a fun and interesting character.
Yeah.
I like the way on the first page on the center 3 panels that he disappears into the, into nothing from the
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, I guess, what you call a juxtaposition with like the him being, in a wheelchair and clearly getting closer to the end of his existence. But he's having a good time, and there's some joviality or jocularity going on, and enjoying what time he has. I don't know. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful
Says a
piece.
lot. Yeah. Crow's Nest. Window talk.
That's like the Rockwell thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Stop banging the house with that ball. Want me to call the cops on you rotten kids? Hello, Selfie. Yeah, I seen them. New tenant 4B just moved in. Such a little life snippets. Yeah. Time to make Joe his supper. Slam. Little tiny slam down here. Observer.
How much more we got left?
Not much.
Oh, okay.
We have safely about a half an hour.
Okay, I've got to go before that.
No, we can pick up the pace.
I can slip away. It's okay. There is no I in TEAM.
Fire exit. Look at that.
That's awful, that story, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably what happens, though.
Yep. Again, life in the city as he saw it. What kind of mother are you? Stitch. This son bitch Pepe. He didn't pay if we ain't finished. He's feeding the baby. Por favor.
I'm surprised Will Eisner never got a gig at Mad. He probably didn't need it, did he?
Probably not. I don't know if he got along with Gaines or not. That would be might have been a personal thing. Because at the time Mad was out, he was making money off of government contracts at that point, doing sequential art instruction manuals for the Army.
He probably made the right choice then.
That gig was huge. I mean, he got paid huge money to do that.
But didn't he have a studio at one time?
Oh, yeah. Yep. He started out in a studio with Iger.
Yeah.
And it was the Eisner Eiger studio. They
Yeah,
went and
Kirby
created
worked for them.
almost the entire quality pantheon of characters was by Eisner, all except for Plastic Man. And that was from Jack Cole, and he worked with him on The Spirit for many years, especially the time that Eisner was off at war during the 40s. But all those quality characters, Uncle Sam, the Ray, Human Bomb, Black Condor, Phantom Lady, those are all Eisner creations.
Right.
All the freedom fighters that DC used later. Dollman.
Again, look at the way that last panel, the way that fire is coming out
Fire
that
and
window.
smoke.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
And here along the bottom of this panel too.
Yeah. This is what I was saying before. He uses everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's used the bottom of the panel to where the flame is, and the lettering is a big part of his work.
Mm-hmm. Everything is all part of the work.
Yeah.
Everything gets the point across. That was a big thing he points out in comics and sequential art.
Yeah.
Everything should be used to promote the story. Or why should it be there?
Yep.
Privacy. Staring out the window.
Look at him on the last panel, looking under the blind.
And under the blind, yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. And she's pulling she's shutting the lamp off. She's walking out. I thought maybe she might have been flipping him off.
It should have been today.
Yeah. Disposal. Out the window. Yeah.
Look at again the way the center strip, the center panels is the smoke, and the guy's cigarette has become the part of the top of the panel.
Yeah. Yep.
It's great, isn't it?
Or here, the entire panel frame is the frame of the window.
Yeah.
The thief comes in, steals the TV, and leaves.
And if you look on that left-hand page with the guy smoking, the two panels with the borders on doesn't work as well, does it? Sort of closes it in. He has a very open style, doesn't he? It closes, and it closes it.
Yep.
It frames it, but it doesn't work as well as it does when he leaves his panels open, which he does most of the time.
Yeah. Well, here he's got the blinds. Here is the panel borders as well, just like what we're doing here with the window. And so, yeah, he enclosed those two panels because he's capturing the scene. I don't know what his thinking was to leave that open, other than the fact that it was just showing space, like you were coming into it. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
But here, your real panel borders are the blinds.
Yeah.
Right there, a little bit of side decoration there for the smoke. Because that was the big point. He was using the outside for dumping his ashtray. That's pretty cool. Nice, sweet sequence. Peeper. Yep, there he is again. Looking at his kids looking under the blinds. He chases the kid off and then comes back, looks for himself. Yeah, there you are.
Look at how low he's crouched down there. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Dirty old man.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Dirty old man, inquisitive kid.
You gotta get your amusement, I guess, where you can, I guess. Well, we don't know what the kid was looking at either. So
Well, he's looking at something the father's interested in, so I guess we can guess.
yeah, the father didn't want him looking
Yeah,
at it,
look at
but
that.
he's
Look
amused
at that
by it.
elephant out on the street. You can't be looking at that elephant. Go on, get out, get out. I'll look at the elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Prisons.
Yeah,
Prisons.
could be somebody outside on the street, like being mugged or something, and the police are there, and he's like, "Go on, get out of way here, stop looking," and then he goes and looks.
Yeah, family friendly kind of thing.
I'm just
Sure.
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Who knows? It's a big city.
Mm.
Worm's Eye View. Here we go. And street level window. People walking by.
It's a sad end. The dog.
Yeah. In the rain. In the same.
Yeah, he redrew every one of them,
illustration.
Glenn.
Say again.
Yeah, he redrew every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
It's all
I had
practice,
traced
isn't
it
it?
just to keep it accurate. Yeah, it is.
No light boxes.
Yeah, probably did, but
Might have traced it. It's off on tissue paper just to get the basics down.
Or he just drew it.
possible.
It is different though, from panel to panel.
Which gives it life.
Yeah,
It's also practice too.
makes
If you
it
think
organic.
about it.
Yeah. Sermonette.
Wow. That's how you draw perspective.
Yeah. In the mighty torrent of their confluence shall love wash away sin and evil. For love is all.
I love the way it's
sermon
kept,
in the middle of the street. Go ahead.
I love the way it's kept the floor on most of the panels. The
Like
ground
this
is
a lot.
standing on. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It turned out really well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, you're right though. The way he's grounded.
Yeah, that's fantastic. There's two
Yeah.
pages like on my wall. Look at that.
Love. Reach out to me. For I love
The light
you.
in that
Touch my heart.
sensation of light in that page is just
Love. Love.
Wow.
Here, you mean? Such a great
on the
panel.
right hand side, but right hand page.
Oh, here? Yeah.
Yeah, the sensation of light.
That's
Just,
Mhm.
it looks like sort of 6 o'clock in the evening in the summertime. Just
Or the real early morning.
it could be, yeah, but it just there's something because there's so many cars and it's so gritty. It's got that feel of a hot city.
Yeah, it does. And again, up close, it's very scratchy, very loose,
Yeah.
just like his other portrait pictures there.
Impressionism on show there, I think.
Yeah. Walls.
Look at that. Look at that on the
That's
bottom
great.
there.
You
Those
like to make it
shadows.
this way. Yeah. Shadows in there. Where is there a city without walls? That house its soul or muffle its cries and choreograph the dance of its life. Walls are to protect and exclude. Do they not also contain and imprison? So are they then to love or to hate? After all, walls are not by nature made. Space. Dreaming of the country.
So he's dreaming of the city and he moves there, then he's dreaming of the country.
Yeah, that's what it is. Freedom. Getting out, getting away, getting a little apartment. Okay, it looks crowded in here, but happy.
It's all
So,
Yeah,
expression, isn't it? All of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's happy because the guy down the other cell's not going to come and have a talk with him later.
yeah, he's out of prison. Yeah. She traded one cell for another, but he's free.
Oh, I don't know which one I'd rather have.
Yeah. Maze.
2 hots and a cot.
Yeah. There he is here. Well, glasses and a cop outfit. Oh, it's pursuing him, compare and juxtaposing it with a pinball game. Cool.
It's all blurred again now.
Is that better?
No, not really. You can see it, but it's very blurred.
Looks like somebody smeared butter on a pair of glasses.
Oh, it looks pretty plain here. Here's the back of my hand. There we go. Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Hey, awesome.
It's going to knock the autofocus around.
Does that camera not have a manual focus?
No, the autofocus. I did put an update into it though last week, so seems to be getting better. It's just that I think after an hour or so, hour and a half, because we're just past the hour and a half mark, it starts losing focus control.
Is it a webcam?
Yeah, it's a Logitech.
Huh.
Might be time for a new camera. It's kind of nice. Bulletin board. Call Helen. And it's Castle. Yeah. Oh, so the guy calls Helen. Writes the number down. Get out the line, creep. Get the hell down to the store and get
Big
me some
open
beer.
window there.
We're all up. Yeah. It's enclosure.
And somebody's built next to them. That's it. Can't see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go through that. Right, I got to go. Sorry.
Okay. See you later.
All right, Russ. Yeah.
Zeros.
We don't have much
Yeah.
farther to go.
I've got to go now. Sorry. I'll see you
All right. Take care.
on Sunday, won't I? I'll see you Sunday. Or are you not going to be this Sunday?
Next Friday. You'll see us next Friday.
Next Friday.
This is
not
Sunday.
Is this Sunday Funnies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This is
Oh,
Sunday.
right. Okay. I've been living under a misapprehension and potentially in the wrong timeline. But there you go. I'm okay now. I'll see you Friday.
Well, jump back in your time machine and stop by on Friday then. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. Look,
first.
whoop, 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 whoop. Off I go. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Take care.
We're going. We don't need any Russ.
The walls have ears and voices. Escape. Adventures of an ant. A bug.
Randy, you were talking into a sock again.
Was I? Sorry.
That's okay.
We're just looking at the adventures of a bug here. And then here
Seems
the
like-
walls have ears as he's listening to his conversation
Yep.
on the other side of the wall.
I've had a few apartments in my life like that where the just walls are super thin. I
Yeah.
always hated it. Moved out immediately as soon as you find out.
As soon as you could. Privacy. Oh, that's clever. This guy's the wall here separating. She's sunbathing. This guy sets up some boxes and climbs up there to take a look at her. Hi, I'm trying to. Is that?
The worst experience I ever had was these. I moved into this apartment. It was above a restaurant, right? Like with an attached bar. And when we moved in, it was really quiet. And we were there for months, probably like half a year. No problems whatsoever. Then the bar owner or the restaurant owner, whoever, because it was a fancy restaurant, it wasn't a bar, but they had a bar, but they were losing money, so they decided to turn it into an illegal nightclub, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, suddenly it was just a sound system coming through the floor and vibrating the dishes. And I had to take the landlord to court, like over it, because you're like, what else are you gonna do, right? Like, because I had a lease and
Yeah.
well, I won, but it was really an unfortunate experience.
Yeah. He piles up all those boxes, climbs up, and then falls down. And she's like, she didn't even hear him. Oh, she looked at him here. Hi, I'm trying to kvetch next door. And I seen you at the checkout in the superfood. She looked up at him and then boom, suddenly he's gone. And she's back to whatever she was doing, and he's still laying the bottom pile of boxes there.
Is that like a tanning salon or something, or like just a neighbor?
No, yeah, the neighbor's out in her backyard. She figured the wall was high enough. She's out there sunbathing.
Okay. Got it.
It's good until them boxes tipped over, and then it's like, oh well. She went back to her book, and he's unconscious on the other side of the wall, apparently.
Why wouldn't you just go around and knock on the door? I mean, like if
Who knows how far this wall stretched?
She wouldn't hear him knocking on the door, would she? Because she's playing the music.
Probably
loud.
not. Yeah. Backdrop. Jericho. Yeah.
That's the bottom panel there and backdrop of those guys on that girder. I don't know, that famous picture. When they build in New York, they sit on the girder.
Mm-hmm. Here, this guy wakes up to make some sort of lunch, comes running down, sits outside of his house to watch the building across the street get demolished.
You know that guy is, don't you, on Jericho?
Yeah.
That's Will Eisner.
Is it? Might be. It's a little. Yeah, it could be. Could definitely be.
Great perspective again on that. Look at that.
Last Frontier. Oh yeah, here you mean? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Love that. Last Frontier. Just as they're about to put a building there. She's pruning out her garden. Another great sketch.
If this was your only reference for New York, you wouldn't go, would you?
Probably not.
I don't know. It might be sort of like. I think I'd rather go, to be honest, if it was all like old and like this, because it's just be more interesting than skyscrapers and whatever else. Yeah, it's dirty, but like there's character that you can look at, history, and something to do.
Yeah. Great perspective again on that drawing.
All that detail is just amazing. It's crazy good. In the big city, a valley formed by the bisection of steel and concrete cliff dwellings is called a block. To its inhabitants, it's the whole world.
There's a video game that I play called it's Red Dead 2 Redemption, and it's set in the 1800s, like 1890, I think, just before the turn of the century. And the graphics on it they've gotten to a point it's just completely realistic, and you can like ride through like the country, like the Midwest or whatever, right? Like you got all the plains and like trees and like cowboys and whatever else, and looks a lot like sort of almost like where I grew up, but slightly different. But when you get to the towns and the small cities and stuff, it's all historically accurate buildings, and you can just like take a minute and lose yourself in the immersive quality of it. And they studied like old like products and things. So like when you see like you go into like a store and you see all the old like 18th century products and like different like cool. Hair pomade and things like that, and cigars and the types of candy or whatever they might have had back then, and preserves, and it looks like when you turn the graphics up high enough, it looks almost real, like and I like that kind of stuff. So you can just if I could go back to I don't know, early New York, it would be fantastic.
So we're looking at some tighter work here.
Yeah.
More detail
going on.
More story. Yeah. More stuff happening. A lot of detail there. Nice. Great establishing shots. The car windows for frames. Oh, look at that.
Wow. Look at that.
That's just great. Can you see that all right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Look at that tree, top left.
Yeah. The negative space here.
Yeah, he's done that again with
the
panel,
Yep.
Fantastic. I think we saw him do something like that a few weeks ago, didn't we, when we looked at his work? Did a similar thing.
Yep.
It's a cornucopia of charm and cacophony.
Technique, too. Yeah. Yeah. No panel border needed. Same thing with here. Wide open. Aliens. The Good Street.
That kid on that fire hydrant.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that my I guess my father would have maybe not this early, but sort of before. It reminds me of stories he used to tell me, like of when he was growing up in Toronto, and he used to tell me about this kid he knew. I don't remember the gentleman's name or the kid's name, but he like the subway shoes. And he would do this crazy, because there's nothing to do in the city. You just make up your own entertainment. The kid would allegedly nailed boards to a pair of shoes and then would sit on go on the subway and then be riding the subway, and the boards would keep him like level from falling over. So when he would like stop or go forward, he'd like lean all the way forward and then lean all the way back, and the subway shoes. And it's just like stories like that. Just this reminds me of some of those stories that my father would tell.
Yeah. Again, some really lot tighter storytelling here. Oh, there we are. That a little bit of everything.
That's those kids again, isn't it? I think all these characters have appeared, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's those two kids again with the getting the ring at the beginning. So I bet all these people have been in this book.
Probably have, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's it.
It's a beautiful journey.
I honestly thought this was the book that had the Shakespeare on the Rooftop story.
Yeah, that's in the sequential art book, isn't it? No, it's in the sequential art book.
It's in one of his graphic novels, though. I thought it was in this one, but I was mistaken. But still, it's great stuff. Oh, look at that. That's New York, the big city, folks. Will Eisner's graphic novel. Some great stuff. I'm sure, or pretty sure, there is a version of this still in print. If not, there should be. Very classic work.
Yeah.
And folks, you've been watching Sunday Funnies for the, I think it's the 3rd or 4th of March.
3rd.
For the 3rd of March. Deeply appreciate you being here. 3rd of March. We know the majority of our viewers are after the fact. Well, we're not live today, so it's all after the fact. We deeply appreciate you being here. Please like and leave a comment on whatever platform you're watching us on. We are really glad you're here, and we hope you enjoyed looking through this great work as much as we did. Whiskey, tell folks how they can find you.
Sure. You can find me at the old X there in the bottom left. Just type that into Google or Twitter, X, what have you. And Bandit Ricochet, we do production level 3D modeling for 3D printing, spin casting, injection molding, all that kind of stuff. Anything that you can think of for a 3D model, we can make it. And if you ever need something made, just send us a message. And you can just, if you get to the Twitter page there, you can just click on the link at the top for the art station, and it's a gallery of some of my commissioned works, which I'm having trouble pulling up, so I'm just going to leave it today.
Leave it at that. Great. All right, Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, I can't let this opportunity go by to show you how Will Eisner has influenced my work. And this is what I'm going to show you now. It's all done by hand, no light boxes, no copying, only using reference similar. I've shown you this before, but I'm going to show you again because I'm proud of this piece of work.
There you are.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Hello.
Looks great.
So anyway,
it was a little fuzzy, but not bad. We saw it was a burned out city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of detail. Fantastic.
And I'm not going to link it either because I'll ruin it. Anyway, you can find me on social media, Facebook and all those things. You can also find me on Amazon, get all my books and comics on there. You can find me at newhavenpublishing.com, and you can also find me on funmycomic.com, which has my cartoon character Hatch annotated book on, which features the history of the character and has published and unpublished artwork in it. And it tells you the story of him. But anyway, if you just put my name in Google, you'll find something.
All right. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find a wide variety of my work over at arrowcomics.store. Also, if you get a chance, go over to funmycomic.com and look at The Shadow Kingdom by myself and Russ. Russ was here earlier today. We spent a lot of time adapting Robert E. Howard's first sword and sorcery story, And we are especially proud to bring that to you. The campaign is over at fundmycomic.com. The Shadow Kingdom. Go look it up today. And again, we deeply appreciate everybody stopping by. Go visit your local retailer when you can. There are all sorts of great gems of sequential art out there. There's a ton of Will Eisner graphic novels, as well as his run on the Spirit, his books on comics, doing comics and sequential art, graphic storytelling. I can't recommend those books to you enough, especially if you're in this business and you need to know how to do great sequential art. There is your mentor right there. And I know he's one of my favorites. And just love the guy and his work, the amount of stuff that he did over the years. He was always out there looking for an opportunity to get comics out to the masses. And that's great. That's great. It's what we're here for, folks. We love this stuff. We love talking about it because we love this material. Stop by next Sunday at 9 a.m. We're going to be looking over, I'm not quite sure yet, but some barbarian type stuff, either from Mike Magnolia or some guy named P. Craig Russell. We'll see. One or the other.
Awesome.
Will probably be next Sunday. And ran across a book. It's got a 3-part Conan story in it by P. Craig Russell. Just amazing. You wouldn't think Russell, I never knew Russell did any Conan work, but he did. So just some great stuff. Folks, take care. We're also around. Say what?
Sorry, I was just going to say, I thought Primer. There?
Yeah,
what?
You cut out for a sec, but you're good.
I thought Craig Russell's work was with primarily inking. No? Not hear me?
He inked a lot of stuff, but his drawings were, he did his own work there for quite a while. Did a whole run on Elric of Melnibone. That's just beautiful, just very tender type stuff. And I always considered him to be that, a real tender artist. Did a lot of opera adaptations of Wagner and that kind of material. Just great stuff. Folks, we got to run. Love you all. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Friday morning, 5 a.m. Comics by Night. We'll be back then next Friday, and then next Sunday here at 9 a.m. We'll be live next Sunday. So you can join in on the chat then. I hope you all behaved yourselves. So in the meantime,
I hope you don't.
Take care. Yeah, that's all we need to be tossed off.
See ya.
YouTube complaining about our chat. That'd be great.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid is seen.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.